And when he had called his 12 disciples to him, he gave them power over unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all kinds of sickness and all kinds of disease. Matthew 10:1. It wasn't until after they came that Jesus gave them their authority and power. Jesus said, "Okay, since you have followed me, I will equip you." When God calls you, he equips you. The limiting factor in discipleship is not the calling or even the equipping, but the willingness to follow. God desires to bless his disciples in incredible ways when they come to him. What if James and John had never left the boat? They could have said, "Wait a second, I've never done that before. I can't lead a Bible study. I can't even read well. I don't know how to evangelize. I am not any good at praying." But the Lord knew all of this and just smiled and said, "Perfect. Come and let God have the glory." It wasn't just a men's club either. At Joppa, there was a certain disciple named Tabitha, which is translated Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and charitable deeds, which she did. Acts 9:36. So there goes our religious myth. The disciples weren't 12 men, but a multitude of both men and women. And don't think that disciple-making stopped when the Lord departed. By the time Acts chapter 6 rolls around, Jesus is at the right hand of the Father in heaven, yet there was miraculous growth occurring in the early church, and Acts tells us how it was happening. The number of the disciples was multiplying. Acts 6:1. How? It wasn't the short sermons, awesome music, and coffee bar. It wasn't the great seating and the perfectly set climate control. The church wasn't even located in a friendly neighborhood. But they were multiplying. How? Jesus had said, "Go make disciples," and they did. They didn't argue about where they would meet or any of the things that now swallow up a church's time and resources. They were reaching out to people and making disciples. They gathered where they could and discipled. In fact, the New Testament speaks of many little house churches and the elders who were raised up to shepherd them. The Bible speaks nothing of giant cathedrals or mega churches. Now, there is nothing inherently wrong with mega churches or cathedrals, as long as they're making disciples. Before I go on, I want you to ponder two things. Are you a disciple? And secondly, are you making disciples? It is my hope that when you are done reading this book, all excuses will have been sacrificed on the altar. I don't know enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm married. I'm single. The Master is offering you the ability to touch other people's lives with his love and power. What if everyone who is saved took on one disciple? Within a year, we would have doubled in number. Within 2 years, we would be quadrupled. Within 3 years, there would be 16 times as many of us. Imagine if we had 16 times as many mature believers in the church. What would God do with that? We so commonly refer to ourselves as Christians, and yet we may not even know what that means. So it was, for a whole year they assembled with the church and taught a great many people, and the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch. Acts 11:26. What is a Christian? A Christian is a disciple. I might refer to myself as a Christian and attend a church. I might be saved, but can I really be called a biblical Christian unless I am also a disciple? It does not say that the believers were called Christians, but the disciples.
Thank you for listening to the audio version of His Final Words, a discipleship manual by Travis Hunt. This audiobook will continue in the following videos.